Hey, how's it going everybody? It's Tanner here and welcome to my review for Ninjago March of the Oni. Now you may notice it says the movie review because in the United States March of the Oni aired as a TV movie. So we finally got that yesterday. We finally have the season. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are highly anticipating, or at least I would hope you are highly anticipating hearing my thoughts and my review of this season. And again, I will be reviewing it first and foremost as a movie because that's what aired here. I have not yet seen the individually produced episodes at this point. I haven't seen that form of it, but the only form that I have seen, of course, is the actual movie version. And in case any of you guys are confused, this March of the Oni TV movie was initially aired in other countries as 4 individual episodes, and going in, I was kind of expecting it to be edited sort of in that way where we could, obviously tell that it was actually 4 episodes, but if I had not known that this was initially aired as 4 individual episodes, I would have no idea. I mean, I really thought that this movie was edited in a way in which, the plot was fluid and it carried through. There was a beginning, a middle, and an end, and that's something that I was not really expecting from March of the Oni, but I'm happy to report that it was there. I think this plot works really well as a movie, and I thought it was really well done, but let's go ahead and discuss what exactly that plot is. So for a quick synopsis, basically, a rundown of the plot, here's what I have to say about that. So from what I've gathered, March of the Oni basically summarizes the events, of seasons 8 and 9. It was supposed to, be this big conclusion to that trilogy of seasons, and it definitely delivers on that, but we'll get more into that later. But essentially, for a quick plot, the Oni are invading Ninjago, and the ninja have to team up with the incarcerated Lord Garmadon to figure out a way of defeating them. And this plot works really well for a number of reasons, and it definitely works as a movie. I don't think this plot would have worked stretched out for 10 episodes, which is the traditional standard for Ninjago. I think the length, the 4-episode length, or the hour-and-a-half movie is a perfect amount of time to go ahead and express this story and actually build off of it and create a solid conclusion to the Oni and Dragon trilogy, or at least that arc of seasons 8, 9, and 10. And again, I might use season 10 to refer to this movie because that's what it is. So if I say season 10 in reference to this movie, just know that I'm talking about this movie. And yeah, moving into it, March of the Oni, it's no secret that I actually like this movie. I actually liked how it turned out. But let's go ahead and discuss why that is, starting with some specific characters. So starting things off, and the person that actually carried the movie for me personally was Garmadon. I thought he was really well done throughout this entire movie. I liked how comedic he was in terms of interacting with the other ninja, and especially with Lloyd. I mean, that dynamic is perfect, and it definitely rounded out the story arc for both of those characters carrying through from the previous season. Or at least in my opinion it does. I know a lot of you guys really don't like this special. From what I've heard, a lot of people really don't care for the movie, but I kind of liked it, and Garmadon definitely made the movie for me. He was really funny, and again, he reminded me of his Ninjago movie counterpart, the Lego Ninjago movie. He reminded me of the Garmadon in that movie, and I couldn't be happier because that Garmadon is probably one of my favorite things about that movie, if not my favorite aspect of that entire film, and seeing that carried over to this film was really awesome to see, and I loved what they did with Garmadon's character in this movie. Another character in this movie that I thought was really well done was actually Cole. He had a lot going on, believe it or not, and while it's not actually specifically his story, I feel like they still executed Cole in a very great way in the actual movie itself, and I cannot be happier with the way that he actually turned out. I know that some parts were a little not needed, such as the whole bit where he falls off the bounty and is basically taken out of the movie for an extended period of time. That really didn't need to happen, but I'm happy that Cole actually got some sort of focus because out of all the ninja, Cole has the least amount of development, from the other seasons, so it was nice seeing him actually get some love here. And right now I do have to touch on the whole Jay and Nia subplot thing where Jay is planning on proposing to Nia. That was really cool as well. It's nice to see their relationship actually build up to this point as we've been following it for several years and several seasons now. So it's nice to finally see it finalized in that form, and it's really not important to the overall plot, but I thought it was a nice addition. Other things that I thought were good were the animation and the fight scenes definitely improved over the past 2 seasons in my opinion. While it is only an hour and a half long, there's really not a lot of room for, as many dynamic and climactic fight scenes as previous Ninjago seasons, which had, a usual length of 4 to 5 hours long. They definitely went ahead and added some greatness to this overall movie, which I really do appreciate. I thought it was really cool and really well done. The way that they incorporated the fight scenes into the actual narrative of the movie, it was creating a consistent flow throughout the entire movie, which was something that I could appreciate as I was watching. And of course, I have to comment on the nostalgia factor. This movie takes a lot of notes from previous Ninjago seasons and incorporates a lot of previous past elements of Ninjago into its overall plot and the narrative surrounding the plot. Specifics include the golden weapons returning, the tornado of creation, various artifacts and characters from old Ninjago seasons pop up again in this movie, and overall the actual feel of this movie very much felt like old school Ninjago, which was really appreciated by me throughout the runtime of the movie. Also, I do need to mention the emotion and acting of the voice actors carried through as well. I could tell everybody was giving it their all throughout this movie. I thought everybody did a really great job. Specifically, Mark Oliver as Garmadon, got to hand it to him again for his stellar performance. Again, it's not like Oscar worthy or anything, but it was definitely good for Ninjago and definitely good for Garmadon's character. And yeah, everybody did a great job throughout this movie. I thought it was really well done. However, there are a few negatives that I do have to touch on, starting with the bad jokes. I mean, bad jokes in Ninjago have always been there, especially with the past 2 seasons of Ninjago. Some jokes don't land in the movie while others really do. You know, everything with Garmadon I thought was funny, but everything involving other side characters really didn't land for me personally. It was pretty hit or miss for the most part. Also, the movie takes a little bit to get started. The first 10 minutes are really kind of slow, and it takes a little bit for the movie to get going, but once it gets going, I actually thought it was pretty decent. But the main thing that I have to discuss that I wasn't really impressed with were the Oni themselves, the main antagonists of the last 3 seasons. Everything was building up to this. I mean, I thought this movie was overall a very solid conclusion to the Oni and Dragon trilogy, but some of the things that the Oni did really didn't need to happen, and some other things that I wished happened didn't happen, which was kind of disappointing. Especially the Oni leader. He really didn't have a character, and, you know, I heard that he was bad from a lot of people that had seen the movie prior, or at least seen the actual episodes prior to me watching them, and yeah, I can actually see where they're coming from. The Oni really did not impress me. But overall, something that I do not agree with the general public is I actually liked this movie. I thought it was actually decent, and I thought it was, you know, kind of good for Ninjago. I liked the actual movie itself. Maybe as 4 episodes, it was a little iffy. Again, I'm not familiar with that edit, so I can't really comment or compare the two, the actual 4-episode version or the TV movie version. But as a movie, I think it works. I thought it was really well done overall, and I was actually pretty impressed with what I saw. Again, credit where credit is due for this movie. I thought it was really well done, and overall, I liked it. And for a final score, I'm going to be giving Ninjago March of the Oni a 7 out of 10 for everything I just listed in my review. So thank you so much for watching this video. This was my review of Ninjago March of the Oni. Of course, the TV edited version in the actual movie form. I don't know if I'll go back and watch the 4-episode version. I probably won't, because I liked it as a movie. I thought it was really well done as a movie, and I don't really want to ruin that experience with watching the 4-episode version, especially if it's lesser in quality. But with that being said, that'll just about do it for this video here. Thank you guys so very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, as always, don't forget to give it a huge thumbs up rating. And of course, remember to hit the subscribe button if you've not done so already. Once again, guys, the comment section is there for the various discussions that you would like to have regarding this topic, or if you just had a comment of a general nature, that's fine as well. In the description, you will find the links towards my other forms of social media, whether it be my Twitter, my Instagram, my Patreon, or my merch. Be sure to support me on all those platforms if you would like to. With that being said, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video yet again. My name is TannerFishies, and with that, I bid you farewell.